listening to The Spot.
To the 2, the 3, the 4.
Fellas, I'm ready to get up and do my thing. I want to get into it, man, you know.
Let me tell you something, man. These are everyday common folk, working people out there. These laborers. You play the game when you working for them.
Who he talking to like that?
Nasty. Talking to your ass.
Damn, y'all look good in the government check. Yeah.
And now, The Spot on SoFloRadio.com. Bitches.
And just like that, we are getting lucky tonight. It's because your headphones ain't up. Well, that one ain't up. Well, thanks to Dre throwing us off with our intro. But this is The Spot Discussions, and we're lucky to have a talented guest, a multi-talented guest, sharp-dressed John Reed of It's John Reed of Flip Pop Radio on iHeartRadio, and amongst a whole bunch of things, man. It's an honor to finally have you here, you know, stopping by The Spot. And you know, this is our chance to like kind of pick your brain, because you've been in the game like what? It's about 10 years now, right? 10 plus?
I started in 1998, man, in college. Like I started on college radio.
Right.
I'm old. I just look young and sexy. I'm old enough to be. I probably could be. I'm your older brother.
well, you know what they say, like throw crack.
Nah, man.
Yeah.
I got kids. Nah, I got kids. I'm old, man. I've been around. I started in college in '98, like on the community access, and then also like college radio.
Right.
And then my first interview, man, was Outkast.
I saw that. I was doing my research, and I saw.
I got a lot of. I got lucky, and I met guys when they first came into the business, and not quite. You know, it wasn't no social media, and they would come to shows like that I created, like myself. They would come to community access shows to try to promote their product, like Goody Mob. I got a lot of great video from artists that started like when they first started. It seems like they're great now, like Beyonce. I got the original. I can't find it, but I have the interview with the original Destiny's Child, with Beyonce, Kelly, Natavia, and
Latoya.
I think it was. I don't think Latoya was in it. Was she?
No, she was the second. She was the second one.
Latavia and Latoya. And I never.
What was the first name you said? I think
Latavia was the darker one, right?
Yes, and then it was Latoya.
And then Kelly, and then Beyonce. Yep. And so I remember Beyonce had hair on her teeth. She was 16 years old, man. She had on braces.
Right.
And Kelly Rowland had on invisible braces. I never forget this. People always talk about Beyonce's age, and she's not. She was that age because I was 19 at the time.
Right.
I definitely remember them being teenage girls. And they had like, I think Bills had just came out.
Oh, okay.
It's 98. And I was a college student. I got an interview with them. Anybody that would come like Michigan, Detroit area,
right?
Like I would land like an interview with them or whatever. So.
Well, through that time, like, what are some of the things that you would take from some of these interviews? Like, they weren't known stars, but like one of the artists that you was just talking about that we won't name, that some of them don't have humility. They're not humble. Yeah. You know.
When I saw Beyonce, I knew she was a star. Oh, you know, speaking Latavia, she had an attitude. I think she had just like woken up, and she didn't really want to do the interview. And Kelly Rowland, I remember her being super humble and super nice. And that's the only thing I remember about the group. And it was funny because Latavia ended up getting kicked out, and I was like, good, because she was the mean one.
Right.
And I remember just Kelly being just like how she is today, how they are. They were the same way as kids. Like it seemed like they never
the cream rises to the top.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, so I just remember I hang out. I see a lot of artists and know a lot of artists and just help a lot of artists. You know, they aren't artists until you give them an opportunity.
Right.
So I like helping up and coming artists. That's my passion. You know, underground and even at BET, like ASAP, the whole ASAP crew, man. I feel like I'm responsible for helping them get on BET. Even especially like ASAP Ferg and all these crew. They come out and hang out, and I tell them like, you should put him on, or he's hot. You know, and the ball roll. It happens in New York. It happens at BET. It happens on just organically, like things like that happen. And you know, I'm always just been around and just trying to just discover talent, and that's what I think my passion is, like discovering new talent.
And how did you get started doing that though?
Just college radio, like I just told you, just listening to records and having DJ, sitting at home listening to 12-inch, just as a kid, listening to Doug Banks on the radio in Chicago, and listening to Rick Party. Like they're on the radio down here now.
Right? Yeah.
Those are I grew up on like Chicago radio, WGCI, and just became like a student of it. Like it's different now,
right?
You know,
I
met you guys. It's like you got to become a student of radio. Like how I like Howard Stern, like just to throw back, you know, Larry King, just energy like that.
No, actually, the building that we're in now. Speaking of Chicago, right there.
Are we dancing or what?
No,
turned it up.
No, playing a little Common right there. That's a little sound bed. But speaking of, I mean, the studio that we're in right now, George Rodriguez, he was with Neil Rogers, who down here in this market would be considered the Howard Stern, you know, shock jock type of stuff. So I completely feel you on that. When it comes to evaluating talent, like what are some of the things? I mean, obviously there are certain things that we all could point out, but this is your thing, evaluating talent. I would write about this. We was talking about 106 and Park closing down, but what it is the music industry. There was no other live countdown show just that existed. Outside of TRL, baby.
Yeah. Well, even now to this day, like TRL shut down in 2006 or 2008 or whatever. So A-list artists still came to 106 and Park despite anybody ever watching it, and so it allowed me to make great contacts backstage and really talk to some of these artists, even whether they were big artists or upcoming artists, and I just understand the dynamics. I understand humility, and I understand whether some artists come in a drunk high. I understand who comes in as serious. I know who comes early. I know who wants to leave. I know who doesn't want to be there. So you can see who's on the charts and who's successful and who has a horrible team, who has horrible management, who's all about, you know what I mean? So I would never broadcast those things, but it tells me how much work they're putting in. You can see it on the charts and on the videos and whatever the success is.
I mean, the perfect example is like what you just made about the whole Beyonce and Kelly thing. Yeah. For them to be the ones that are standing out there, I mean, it wasn't solely a situation of nepotism. It's these outside of the talent, you worked hard for it, and you understand like the little things.
Yeah. And do you? Sorry.
Go ahead.
Do you think the up and coming artists today of this generation don't know the meaning of work ethic?
They know, you know what it is. It's a little bit easier to get on now. You got so much social media and things like that help you. So it's saturated. Artists, they come even on they think I can give them a record deal. I wish I could give out a record deal, but even on my Instagram, like artists, upcoming artists, they'll come and spam my Instagram thinking I can give
submittals and all that.
I probably could point them to a different person or A&R or whatever it is. Right. But at the same time, it's saturated. It's so easy it's so many outlets: Instagram, social, SoundCloud, YouTube. It's a million artists. Everybody wants to be an artist. Right. There's no fans out there to buy the music to support it. It seems like the market is evaporating.
Yeah, because I don't think people are even buying albums anymore, like hard copies. It's
we had a discussion during pre-production talking about how this year alone there hasn't been a platinum album yet. Yep. And you'd be surprised because we were kind of debating about Beyonce, but she dropped hers
in 2013 last
First
year.
of all, Beyonce doesn't count. Like when you mention the music business, you can talk about Beyonce, then it's everybody else. Everybody else ain't got she got 14 million on the How many on the Instagram? So all she had to do is send one Instagram say my album's out.
Right.
And now she got a million. That's it. Like it's a different day and age, but she's the only one that could do that.
Right, but she's not even listed as a platinum album that has dropped this year, which is surprising. You know,
but it didn't drop this year though, so I don't think it counts. I think it would count in 2013.
The way the music industry goes, they go by quarters. Sorry if I surprised you with that one. They go by quarters. You got the first, second, and third.
Even now, I'm hearing like Beyonce has a snippet that just got released like a couple hours ago. Everybody's going crazy over a 7-second snippet. Everybody's saying, "Oh my God, this is gonna be a #1 song." So everybody's already thirsty.
Right. Yeah, those beehives are supportive.
Hey man, I ain't gonna even lie. I might join the beehive. I mess with I like Beyonce, man. She's one of a kind. Like I must say, I used to like Janet Jackson, but I've seen she's the greatest. She's gonna go down as the greatest of all time.
I kind of, because of the oversaturation of marketing certain things, I kind of stayed away from her because it was like everybody just, Beehive, Beyonce, this, that, and the third, Blue Ivy, just so much of it up to here. But her music bed for her segment, right, is a grown woman.
Yes.
So I played it. I was like, let me just listen to the song, because I just threw it on there because it fits her personality. And it was a dope song. It was a really dope song. Like the composition. You know, she kills it on every level. Everything.
Yeah,
if there was a checklist for like an artist, okay, live performance, the actual composition of the song, you know, aesthetically how she looks and all that stuff. She, you know, she tops it. She's perfect. I think the next closest on the male side would be Usher, but he doesn't garner as much attention, I would believe.
So what do you love? We love the physical Beyonce.
Right.
I like everything, man. No, she's talented. I like watching her as a mom. You know, all that.
Yeah.
Now you said you work with BET, and since we're on the topic of Beyonce, we want to know who was responsible for having Karrueche speak about Blue Ivy's hair.
They have writers and producers that just write. They get in there and write the scripts. I can't tell you names,
of
but
course
yeah,
not, but
just general writers. Cool. Put it this way: who I think wrote it, she's a mom too, and really works with her son, and very humble chick. Mm-hmm. So if I'm thinking who wrote it, so it's almost like you don't know how it's gonna go over until it happens, till the backlash happens. That's what happens on live TV.
So is it true that she didn't know?
Nah, she had no clue with that. Beyonce don't pay no attention to 106.
No, I'm talking about Karrueche, who didn't did she?
She didn't, because what it is, they bring you in. I mean, she kind of let's just go with she didn't have no idea, because I think she probably did have some type of idea, but let's just say they threw her out there. You reading the teleprompter, you just kind of read it and don't think about it, and you don't think about the jokes of it. You know what I mean? Because you're trying to get through it. And then she's nervous because when you get on 106, here's one thing I noticed: like when you get on set, them lights, that set is huge. Them lights is overwhelming. There's no other set like 106 in Park. So when you get out there, you think you know something, but you probably lose your mind and forget. So she's focused on that teleprompter, and whatever they write, she put a voodoo on there, whatever they would have said, whatever it was. So I take her side, and she's a sweet girl too. So I don't think
she
there's
seems
any
nice.
malice.
But when asked Bow Wow would he have read that teleprompter that said something with Blue Ivy's hair, he was like, nope.
Yeah, but Bow Wow's smart, because Bow Wow knows politics, and he's trying to get a record. He's trying to get signed to Rock Nation.
Right, so he's gonna stay away from any type of bad press associated with that. Speaking of bad press and being behind the scenes like you are, the whole debacle that is the Aaliyah biopic. We were discussing, people like Wendy Williams, tacking on her name. And to bring it back to what I was saying about the oversaturation of marketing, you have a situation where the quality is not being pushed to the forefront. Her biggest argument is hate her to love it.
You watched.
And I get that. But at the same time, that's the last time they gonna watch.
That's the last time she gonna catfish us, right?
Did
you know what I'm saying?
Did you watch it?
She catfished us.
Now,
yeah.
I said it was trash. They could have kept it.
Well, I felt like this because I sometimes I glance at those other Lifetime movies, and so when I saw this one, I felt like this was a better movie. I felt like this was probably one of the better movies I've ever seen on Lifetime, right? Yeah. So let's start with positive.
Right.
Other than that, I'm from the Chicago area and grew up 20 minutes from Chicago, and the dude that played R. Kelly, ain't no damn way he's was from Chicago or the Midwest.
Right.
Let's start with that. So there was so many other ones. Timberland, then Dame Dash.
Yeah.
Come on, I just don't understand the casting of it. And then they talk about they were looking for actors. Well, forget about actors. Let's just get somebody that starts off that looks like the person first.
Let's get some form of authenticity, because I think, not to completely age ourselves, Jay, you're at a time now where a lot of the people that we grew up on are being done in retrospect.
Yeah.
Most recently Biggie, because that was more larger scale, right? Yep. And we know some of the stories. There was some things that were left out, but even then they was trying at some point to keep it authentic.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I interviewed Antonique Smith. She played Faith Evans. So she told me the only reason she got her part because she hauled off and slapped the girl and went off on her in the casting. They was getting ready to go with a well-known actress, and she had to fight this girl.
Right.
And they said, you know what? You Faith Evans. Because, Faith had to go, just like how it happened in the movie. She told me that's the only reason she got that role. So sometimes as an actress or a performer, they be looking for that extra. They don't want a regular.
Mile, right.
Yeah, but I feel like the casting on this one, on Aaliyah biopic, was terrible. And, like I said earlier in the show, Wendy Williams, supposed to be the voice for us, who said that she wanted Lifetime to get the movie correctly, do it right. With her assistance, I don't think she got the job done.
She laughed all the way to the bank. I bet you they got like 3 other movie deals off of just that one successful.
I think the Whitney Houston one is in the can, is coming.
But they have access. Well, the family's involved with this one, right?
Yeah, but I last I heard, I don't think they have access to the actual music.
Well, I heard one song that counts. That only counts. That I will always love you.
That's it. That's all they need.
Well, that's all they need.
But you know, with this movie, they couldn't even use anything.
They didn't have 1 in a million. They couldn't love. They didn't have. So here's one. I know we're not going to talk about this the entire time. But here's one last faux pas. R. Kelly, they go to kiss right in one scene, and then R. Kelly says, "No, not something to the effect of no, not yet. You're too young."
Why he married her at 15?
Yeah, exactly. When do you know R. Kelly to turn down some young things? So that shows me that they were trying to protect.
But Wendy did say that she said she wanted to show R. Kelly in a tasteful
exactly.
manner.
They were trying to protect him. Yeah.
We already know the truth.
I seen the video. Come on now. Well, allegedly.
I recently saw the video.
Nah, I ain't even trying to watch it no more. I'm done. I'm too old to watch it now. I think I saw it in college at that age, but
I was too young to see it. You know how my parents
exactly.
I caught it.
Listen, man, the girl was. She had to be. Since I know she was 13, don't even count anymore. 14, whatever it was, she don't even count because my thing is, man, she was a kid. R. Kelly got away with it, so I swept it under the rug. He beat it. Hey, man, that's just like, the family. Sometimes you gotta
put the blinders on.
Like, oh man,
don't
do it again. Don't get caught again.
Yeah,
he kept it off video to seem like he got his act together. We didn't find anything else. So
that we know of.
So we know of.
But let's bring it to you as far as like the ventures that you got going on, because like I said, you multitask and you're still doing syndicated work, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm trying. You know what it is? I think my next move, I want to get my studio here in South Florida, like my recording studio, and do my radio show out of there. But just get my studio going, and also just work with up and coming artists and just work with producers, man. And it's easy for me to email artists like beats. Like here's the thing, I'm real humble with what I do, but I don't oversaturate my welcome with people and relationships and stuff. So I ain't just emailing artists beats. I ain't just oversaturated my welcome, but I got to be quality of work. I got to believe in it. It got to be a movement. The person got to be, you know what I mean, outstanding for me to be able to put myself out there and and I want to do that here in South Florida and stop flying so much and just stay grounded here, man. And make moves.
I know the frequent flyer mileage points, kind of work in your favor sometimes, don't
Nah, man, airlines rip you off. Anybody that know frequent, everybody always asks me that. I do use them, but man, they rip you off. They have a system, man. They're not letting you fly. I would have, trust me, that's the case. They need to be pulling up the private jet because I have so many. I spend a lot of money on plane flights. That's the case. I would have been flying free all the time.
For a good little minute.
They know how to. They give you only a certain amount of points, and then they stop you at. The system is smart, man. They have mathematicians that work these things out, man.
Truth has been told.
Yeah, you go to book a flight, and a lot of my flights I booked the day before. Boom, that's triple the. They don't take you, man. So,
as far as flip hop, like what's the basis of it, and what are you trying to accomplish with that?
It's just my outlet to talk on iHeartRadio, and I want to turn it into like a TV thing. Everything's visual for me. And then iHeart, man, I'm building a relationship. They're going into TV. So that's just me jumping.
Yeah, the new name is
iHeartMedia.
iHeartMedia, right.
Yeah, that's just ain't no big deal. And like a lot of my old bosses, I started off with Power 105 from day one.
Right.
Like I helped launch that station, and we used to go up against Hot 97, and I was passing out flyers, man, just hoping to beat up Hot 97.
Right.
Now they got Angie Martinez over at Power, the Breakfast Club winning. It took 10 years,
right?
So it takes time, man, and patience in the industry. So I look at it like I just want to build my brand, like the flip hop, and then have other talented radio people, personalities, give them some outlets to shine and do their thing. And I just want to build a team, man, and still do my TV productions and like sell TV shows. I like TV checks. Radio stuff is fun. I do this for free. I like once you get into that TV, man, you start getting the budgets and you start seeing like, whoa, wait a minute.
Right.
Why would I go to work every day when I could just sit at home and plan and then go to work a few months, boom, get that, that's how it is. But it takes time.
Down.
Yeah, you got to sit down and be still and meditate and be spiritual, and hopefully everything come together.
Yeah, get on some Russell Simmons Zen.
Yeah, man, you got to find it. You got to find a common ground between everything in life and balance. And I coach. I'm on I coach basketball.
You do?
Oh yeah, man. I get it. I take this. We had the draft yesterday. I take it serious. We in there. 6, 7, 8-year-olds. shows. You start them off, man. My son, 7 years old, so and we take them all the way up to they get in high school, man. You start them off early.
Nice.
Brandon Knight played the same league. We played Margate. Now he in the NBA
Bucks.
He balling for the Bucks. He started off with the same Margate basketball league. That's how we that's what I'm into, man.
I think. Something like that.
He went to Pinecrest High School, but I'm into developing young people. The sports saved my life. I had the track scholarship. I played basketball. We're basketball in Indiana. That's what we do up there.
Yeah.
So sports, I'm real big into that. Yeah. So if we can keep kids off the streets with sports, I think just number one. If you go to school, I don't see how you could be not in something.
Right.
Involved in some kind of something.
But now our generation, like the kids are not involved in things like that.
Yeah.
They're taking away arts.
I saw that
schools.
they cut it out. I went to my son's school. 0 budget towards music and 0 towards art.
Yeah.
I saw it on the wall. It hurt me, man. I'm like, dang.
So when I first went to college, they took away the dance program.
Wow. That's crazy.
Well, while we were off air, discussing the current state of, we'll talk about hip hop. The current state of hip hop, we were discussing the Bobby Shmurda audition.
Yeah.
And how it, looked like a form of a minstrel show, right?
Yep.
What are some of the things that this generation, because you don't want to come off like the generation before us came off.
Yeah.
Well, y'all ain't doing it how it was done before. Y'all don't really have it how.
I looked at Bobby Shmurda. I had to give him a pass because I looked at him like a New York Chief Keef. And then because Chief Keef, that's my dog. Right. I look at him because I look at Chief Keef, man. I look at guys like that, man, that ain't got no other hope in life. Like, you got to give certain people passes. Like Chief Keef, he ain't nothing else he could do in life. I spoke to him and in the person talking to him, ain't nothing else he do. That's what he do. So sometimes you got to overlook at like, okay, you can't not say, oh, it ain't hip hop, or even Bobby Shmurda. Like you look at the office, you saw him in there, a room full of white folks. That's how I do auditions like that all the time. They look at you. Oh, you're funny. Oh, you like this and that. But he just happened to catch it on cell phone. And but he's making money. He's touring. He would have been standing on the block or catching the train over there in New York, hopping the train and doing some stupid something. So I look at it like, hey man, get the money. I don't think he's a solid artist at all. I heard the second single that he put out.
That's really the concern. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm viewing it. Not to hate on the dude. Cause
as long as you can put out singles.
We both said that. It's like if it's a case where okay, you're getting out of a bad situation, I get that. But if you don't look at it as an art form, like when Biggie put words together, that was an art form. You know what I mean? Man. You look at Shmurda and you'll turn up being Trinidad.
James.
A year later.
Here's the thing, like in New York, I used to I get off the train, man. You come off on Flatbush, it's a Caribbean vibe once you get off in Brooklyn. It's all Caribbean, but and he's Jamaican too. But you can tell these little young shotters out there, they don't have that spirit. Biggie, like the old heads, like these little young dudes, a lot of them say, oh, he ain't East Coast, but he does have a lot of family that grew up in the South or whatever. So you got the South, then they go up north and hang out with the moms and the parents that still was in Brooklyn. So it's kind of not the same, but they still kind of got both cultures. That's what music, you starting to hear it in the music now. The French Montanas, he can blend in, or everybody want to sound like the South. So that's what music is, man. I gave like Migos and all those guys.
Right.
Yeah.
I just gave in. I like them now.
Now you talking about Migos and Chief Keef.
Yeah. That's two different artists though, Migos and Chief Keef.
I know, but how do you feel about them two feuding right now?
Oh yeah, I don't know. I just think these guys, man, they just trying to keep up. I don't know. I look at these guys, Amigos though. It seems like them dudes don't play no games because they get in a lot of trouble.
Yeah. They had a shootout right here.
Yeah, and one of the guys, he almost, I think one of them dudes caught a body or something. Yeah. So he's street. I believe it's Craig. I believe him because when they came here and they said this on the mixtape, I just got through and listening to Amigos mixtape. I like their music. These guys are smart, but if you listen to their lyrics, they know what they can flow. They know what they're talking about.
No,
but I wouldn't say they got into a shootout here in Miami when they was performing at Cafe Iguana.
That's why I don't go there. That's why I say that.
Them boys, something ain't right with them. Yeah. They too street.
No, I mean that's the thing that this generation kind of gets a knock for, that they too emotional. You know what I mean? Like it's. You had situations like, I'm not gonna make it sound like it didn't happen during, the previous generation, but it's like, you don't like my music, you don't play my stuff, then F you and what you represent and all this other stuff, and it's like, come on, I mean, I'm just telling you to step your game up. You know what I mean? It's not necessarily that I don't want to hear your stuff ever. Like with the Migos, I dig they flow.
Yeah.
as much as I don't like his presentation, Young Thug, his stuff knocks.
Oh yeah.
But it's like everybody just jumps on the bandwagon.
We should. I'm gonna come back. We need to have a whole Young Thug. I need that. I can teach the class.
I'm trying to break down what this young man.
Here's the thing about how much time we got, man.
We got enough time. We got more than enough time.
Here's the thing about Young Thug, and you brought this up because he's very important now to hip hop, and here's why I say this. And I went through and I listened to Young Thug, and I have this to say about Young Thug. He's the most creative genius I've seen in so long.
Whoa.
What he did was took. If you listen to his lyrics, man, this dude makes a lot of sense. You might not know what he's saying, but he's artistically, whatever he's doing, he's standing out, and he don't sound like nobody else. And if you think about everybody now in hip hop, people send me music all the time. Everybody can flow, everybody can rap, but I want to hear music where you don't sound like nobody, and you make me want to rewind it. So if I got Young Thug and I got him on my YouTube channel or whatever, let's just use record labels. They have a SoundCloud, and they get paid by views, or the radio station. Man, you got to rewind Young Thug 10 times to hear what he said,
to figure out.
Now all of a sudden he had 10 million views, and a regular artist at 1 million. Now he got $10 million, and this dude is at 1 million. I'm just talking about business over whatever it is. I'm talking about interesting, just making people listen and tune in. Young Thug is that dude. I don't understand why people hate against Young Thug.
I don't think nobody hate against him. I just feel like everybody just like, yo, like
what
is
he
he saying? Like
he's saying something, and think about it, he's saying something so interesting that people want to know what he's saying, because there are other artists that say garbage, you don't care what they say. He make it make sense, and he said a lot of stupid things. He said a lot of things that you think about like, whoa, like why would he say that? But it makes, if you think about it and dissect it, man, I don't know what he do when he sit down and write and what he own.
What's the writing process?
Now, recently Young Thug was on Instagram burning $100 bill.
Yeah, I saw that.
Using it to burn his blunt.
Yeah, I saw that. I wasn't impressed with that.
I mean,
if you wanted to do that, Floyd Mayweather was burning up way, $100 ain't nothing to Young Thug. Show me, do a few hundred or like 1,000.
Right.
You know, then you rolling like, dang, he $100. Come on, man.
Well, even that, I guess that's my gripe. You know what I mean? Like, but then again, you gotta understand it's a young man's game.
Yeah.
As far as hip hop's concerned, so I can't expect them to have the foresight to be like, well, it's probably because you got somebody that's dead broke, and he'll go to any club and he'll feel like I could turn up like that because I'm just as rich, at least in my mind, as Young Thug, so I'm gonna do all this other stuff.
I just felt like he could have bought, like, you know, them cute little dresses that he wear. He could have bought one to match that with the one he had on with that $100. You know, do something make yourself look nice.
Yeah, like, you know, burning $100 is somebody
to bring it back to what you was talking about with baby with that too. Now you might get arrested, like dude up in Fort Lauderdale. That's a whole nother story. But Baby was talking about how what he saw in Young Thug was similar attributes that Wayne had, that rock star vibe, and I was like,
he a rock star, man.
Yeah,
I you know who is also Rich Homie Quan, like them two together rapping, man. I'm telling you, Baby on us. They on to something, right? Here's the thing, though. There are so many artists that rap like them in Atlanta. They ain't the first ones,
right?
I seen them all.
Yeah,
but there's only so many stars,
right?
Everybody rap like that in Atlanta. Everybody sound like Migos. Migos started the whole style. Drake took Migos and brought them mainstream,
right?
But everybody stole it from Migos.
And that's the thing that kind of, if you really a hip hop head, you understand that it's all based off of originality.
Yeah,
you know. So when it comes to your flow and then you sound like this dude, like what I'm supposed to just leave the originator to go deal with you, you know, like that's the part that
I wonder what the conversation is behind the scenes between Wayne and Birdman, because Young Thug does sound like Lil Wayne. So you notice that they only did one song ever, and I don't even think they was in the same studio. So
yeah, it was a recent feature that
it was recent, but it wasn't no natural, you know, it was like let's throw him on or whatever. So I'm thinking Wayne never even wanted to do songs with Young Thug.
Listen, when I first saw Young Thug, he reminded me of Vybz Kartel.
Yeah, I agree.
Looks wise.
Well, that's a whole nother thing.
That's all I feel about Young Thug. And here's the thing about Young Thug, though. His music ain't gonna be his own album. It ain't gonna be hot. I went through and listened to his stuff. He ain't got but so much to say, but he's hot on singles. Let's not we don't need to invest too much time into it. I just wanted to say he's hot now. but he ain't gonna be no Lil Wayne.
Right.
Hell no.
I mean, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay, I'm
You
good.
go first.
We're gonna do this the whole show.
Well, ladies first. Anyways, a lot of artists now they're starting to put out hot singles instead of good albums. Like they'll put out a really good single, then you hear the album and you're disappointed because you bought into the first single that came out that was hot, and then the album is trash.
I would just put out straight singles. I wouldn't even waste my time putting out albums.
I was just about to say with the business model that they have now, like Usher's building his album as he goes along. Like he'll drop a single every now and then to try to generate that buzz, because he tried to be very artistic with it and say, I just want to be organic, which is a good push, but in all actuality, I think you can't drop a whole album like you used to anymore.
Well, it's Usher's audience is like myself ain't buying albums, because I've been to like some Usher concerts back in, I'm his audience, like so what he's trying to say is he's trying to figure out if the young people are gonna really support those certain records. Right. It's hard for y'all that's listening to support great artists like Usher. Now, even like Usher and Chris Brown did that once. Do that together. Right. Usher bodied him. Right. I don't know if y'all think that, but Usher bodied him on that song.
We know who didn't body him, Dre, on that song.
I'm not even gonna say his name.
Okay.
Who?
The third person on
the third person.
Was it the third person on there? Who was that?
See, that's the problem. That's the problem.
No, she's talking about Rick Ross. Like the song's dope. I mean, I hear it.
He was on there. He did his thing, but he should. Yeah, Rick Ross wasn't. He wasn't.
The thing with Ross, I love Ross and I listen to him, but on his features, I just like, did you listen to the song before you even?
Here's
wrote
what
your
happens.
lyrics to
I
it?
guarantee. Here's the thing: you can never get Ross in the studio. So what they do is they'll say, "Hey, we need a verse from you." He ain't really vibing in the studio with what's going on,
right?
And you're right. It comes across they talking about yachts when they really
talking about love.
Yeah, when they really talk about love. When they supposed to be at the strip club. When they really song was talking about they was at the high. It just don't make.
Then you get a lemon pepper.
Yeah,
you
wings drop.
You're like, wait,
yes.
what?
But Rick Ross, I can't wait till his new album comes out.
I'm
always excited about.
I'm excited. He done lost weight.
I was disappointed. Really? Because Mastermind, the packaging. Because my thing is, like, I love the whole build up. Not necessarily, I understand the business side, but I love the whole build up and packaging of a project. So when Mastermind was coming out, I was loving God Forgives and I Don't. So I'm thinking this is that on steroids, and it was left field.
Yeah,
it was left field.
Yeah,
and I'm not the type to where I just deadpan stuff that are left field. I look at what you said when it comes to talent. When it comes to a joint, when it comes to like a hit, you hear it. And like you listen to that previous album, man, it was back to back. Like the joints that stood out.
Yeah.
I didn't really feel it on this recent album.
Even now, right? What's his single? Like,
see?
He did one with R. Kelly.
I like that one.
But Kelly bodied him on his own song. I'm not going to
lie. But Kelly gonna body anybody on any song though.
And
it's just happened.
Yeah.
R. Kelly's writing for a few different. I heard a couple like new artists put R. Kelly. They finally starting to get it. Chris Brown did it, and they create. I don't know if you guys heard R. Kelly and Chris Brown collaboration on Chris Brown's new album, but it's one of the greatest songs. It would be on radio if R. Kelly didn't have. I'm telling y'all. This guy ruined his career just by those allegations, but he's the greatest writer of all time.
I don't think his career was ruined though, because he's still being.
It was ruined because you know what?
Listen, we used to
before the allegations came out. Yeah. He did the Olympics. No, the greatest. He sung the Muhammad Ali song, The World's Greatest.
Listen, as a producer at 106, you don't think we would have wanted R. Kelly to come up there, but it's a teenage show.
Yeah.
It's not appropriate, right?
Right.
You laughing right now, but you get what I'm trying to say to you, right? You don't think he ruined opportunities? We could never have R. Kelly in the same building as teenage girls, because it's just the conversation ain't even right.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's what I meant.
Yeah. Oh, man.
I'd be pissed off if my 13-year-old daughter came home and said she was at somewhere where R. Kelly was at.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Unbelievable. But okay, we got the flip hop going on and some of the things that you're going to be knocking out. Let them know where they can find you at.
It's John Reed on all social media. It's johnreed.com. That's the website. That's my blog.
How you spell Reed? Because some people spell it differently.
The right way. REED. I got a war going on with REIDs. RUR. Change it to Reed. We always go back and forth, man. REED. It's John Reed. JOHN REED. That's the website and my blog and all that other good stuff. We on Flip Pop Radio. That's the radio station at Flip Pop Radio.
All right.
So all that good stuff, man.
Production company.
Yeah, man, we're gonna get it popping. Like, I'm just probably in like March, man. I'm gonna come in full fledged. I'm the type, like, I wake up, I'm gonna call you like, yo, I got the studio set up. Like,
right.
I'm a spur of the moment. It's in my brain.
Right.
So I'm already running through it. When I sleep at night, I wake up. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to figure it out. Even artists, to get them to come through. Like, I'm a monster. Like, I'm taking everybody. If you got a studio, you better. I'm coming for you, because I'll give you $5 an hour just to get you up in there. Like,
right.
I'm that dude when it comes to engineering. That's how I got started in the game, man, in New York. Like, meeting artists and engineering forums, sitting there quietly and learning the tricks of the trade. I like science and acoustics and audio.
Right. And
that's what I do at the crib when I'm by myself, man, and mixing stuff down. And people don't know that about me, man, but I like doing that. It take a lot of time, though, mixing songs and, you know, being creative thing. That's what I like to do outside of, like, radio. If I could just do that full time and get paid, I can't figure out how to get paid from it. But if I could do that full time, I just sit in the studio all day long. You know, you can make money off of it, but I'm talking about making money off of it. You know?
Now, what advice would you give people that want to enter the music industry?
Don't. You know what it is? You got to enter. Man, the music industry is like the devil on one shoulder and the angel on the other shoulder. It's you can't make no money off of it. So if you're trying to have a family, here's what it is: don't have any kids. Here's the secret. Turn that down, man. Here's the secret to success. If you have kids, it's not going to be the end of the world, but it's going to be 100 times harder, because guess what? You have to bring that kid with you. You have to feed the kid. You got to find a babysitter. You got to show up at work on time. Those are the things that make life difficult as a woman. See, now as a man, he make the baby. He can run away and do whatever. So I always tell my sisters and all my young ladies, my young people out there, you know, even if you got a kid, be careful what you do and how you move around, man, because you got to be a parent first of all. So that's my advice. You know, just try to. Let's just say if you don't have any kids, work at not having any, and then that way you can just say, hey, you can take a job in Alaska if you need to get the experience, or just be able to move around. And that's my advice. But let's just kids, whether you have kids or not, you know, just stick to whatever your dream is. You just got to work hard at it. Like 100. Even me to this day, you know, people, I feel like I just got to work hard at it.
Right.
If you had a resume, don't mean nothing. You know, people don't even look at resumes. You know, every day, man, I got to prove myself. I start over. I'm humble. You know. But I got a lot more resources than somebody that's just not coming out. I got like, you know, it's chess.
Right.
You know, you figure you bump your head against the wall when you're young, trying to figure out life, and then you get older, you step
maneuver
back.
a little bit
like,
better.
Whoa.
Yeah.
All I had to do was do this. All I had to do was do that. And you start learning and you live life, and that's what it's about. You know, we meditate, man. We think about it. That's what I'm serious. Y'all people think I'm saying, like, if you visualize what's gonna happen and you focus on it, you ain't gotta. I ain't talking about praying to Jesus or whatever. I'm just saying focus on whatever it is. Talk about it and bring it into fruition, and that's how I make things happen. It always happens. That's it, man. I ain't got no secrets.
Yeah,
that's it. When I get the secret, I'm gonna sell it. I'm gonna try to figure out how to bottle it up.
Exactly.
Sell
Put it in the book.
Yeah,
games to be sold, not to be told. Yeah. Well, that was one John Reed, and we got to go ahead and get up out of here. I'm gonna let Pac and them let you know we gotta go. It's checkout time. This has been The Spot Discussions right here on SoulFlowRadio.com. He is one John Reed. She is
DriRue.
And I am one JakFrost. You can catch us on SoundCloud, YouTube, and most recently the website frostbitesvision.com for this latest interview right here on SoulFlowRadio.com. We thank you and peace.